The hit pieces against this black Trump supporter are out, and they say that this image was staged. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the liberal left-wing haters, people that work for a lot of these dying corporations, your MS-13, DNC, ABC, CNN, or etc., your left-wing online haters. They have come after Miss Michaela Montgomery, the woman in this picture right here. They come after her because they say that she's fake, she's phony, she's really a conservative operative, and this picture, the whole episode at Chick-fil-A, everything was staged. Now, this is really crazy for a few reasons. First of all, when you say the word staged, to me, that means something very specific. When you're talking about the moon landing, some say that that was staged. What does that mean? Great question. Glad you asked. Some say that the moon landing didn't happen, that it was fake, that it was recorded in a Hollywood studio, maybe Area 51. When I hear the word staged, that's what I think about. I don't think about meet and greets, okay? When you have Beyonce come to town, Taylor Swift come to town, any celebrity that's going to generate a crowd, people want to go meet them. They want to organize to go meet them. Hey, Trump coming to town. Let's go down to Chick-fil-A and meet him. Let's talk to the campaign and see if we can meet him. That's how these things go. Even me, I'm no celebrity. I'm nowhere near the level of Donald Trump, but I've done meet and greets for myself before. And guess what? People that like me, that support me, show up to the meet and greet. We take pictures, assign autographs, or whatever. Okay? That's how these things go. How would anybody call an organized meet and greet a staged event? It makes no sense. If you're talking about people that didn't really want to be there and they were being compensated and they didn't like the president, maybe that'd make sense. But that's not what's happening right here. You see, they dug into her background and they found out that she is a conservative, that she at one point worked for Brexit, that she is an organizer on black college campuses for conservative events. Okay, so she's a legitimate person that actually likes Trump and his policies. So how would you call a legitimate Trump supporter organizing the meet and greet? How would you call that staged? It doesn't make any sense. None whatsoever. The reason why it's happening is because she's black. That's the reason. Okay, now this is one picture that they want to say is staged. Now here's another one. Very similar in nature, a restaurant or some kind of place with a woman who is hugging Trump. Now, do you know who that is? No, you don't. You don't. 99.9% of y'all do not know who that is. I know, but most of y'all don't. Why don't you know? Because who cares? Just a regular white woman with patriot stuff on. Ain't nobody going to say it's fake. It's going to say, oh, that's a Trump supporter. So why does she get to be called a Trump supporter while Miss Michaela does not get to be called a Trump supporter? What's the difference? I don't see a difference between this picture and that picture. Oh, one is black, one is white. That's the difference. And by the way, this woman right here, I think her name is Mickey Orson, and she is a J6 defendant. Okay, but ain't nobody going to say, oh, it was staged to make her look better for her case. Nobody's going to say anything because she white and she is automatically assumed to be a conservative. But if you're black, you can't be that. You cannot escape the plantation. That's kind of what's going on. Now, I want to get into this guy right here. This is Isaac Hayes III. I want to show you his commentary, and I want to kind of react to it. And then we're going to hear from Michaela herself. She did an interview with Fox News. Shout out to Lawrence Jones for that. We're going to get into that interview in a minute to hear straight from her about the situation, what happened, what transpired before, and everything else. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Sure did. Much better than Biden did, so I want to know this is.
And if you didn't hear what he said and what she was responding to, he was talking about helping the black colleges. And she's like, sure did. You sure did help the black colleges.
Market Random, this is Spelman, this is Morehouse, this is Morris Roman, all that.
So she's talking about all the colleges represented by people that are there. Because what she did was text everybody like, hey, Trump coming. We got a meet and greet at the Chick-fil-A. Yo, come through. Come on down to the spot and meet him. That's what happened. But let's continue.
I don't care what the media tells you, Mr. Trump. We support you.
We love you.
Okay, 4 p.m. We've been 4 p.m.
Come here, let me give you a
Please do.
This entire scene you see here in the Chick-fil-A in Atlanta, Georgia was staged and fake.
How was it fake? If you have actual supporters of the president going to Chick-fil-A to meet him, how was that fake? Again, if you have Beyonce fans, Taylor Swift fans, maybe even your fan, Mr. Isaac Hayes III, if you have any fans, I'm not sure if you do or not, maybe you do. If you have a meet and greet and people show up and they want to take pictures and all this and that, how was that fake? It doesn't make any sense.
The woman talking to Donald Trump's name is Michaela Montgomery, and she is the Blexit Foundation City Director for Atlanta, Georgia. Hold on. So what is Blexit? Blexit is basically a Trump supporter, Black-founded nonprofit by Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum. But who owns Blexit? Hold on. So Blexit is backed by Turning Point USA, a racist conservative nonprofit aimed at Gen Z. But who runs Turning Point USA? Oh, look, the racist asshole Charlie Kirk is behind Turning Point USA, who once said, and I quote, "Michelle Obama is among black women who steal a white person's slot." So what y'all not finna do is play on our faces with chicken and milkshakes, because that's what they think of you guys, black people, that they can put chicken and milkshakes and Donald Trump in your face with some black girl who's really working for Charlie Kirk and get y'all to vote. Stop playing with us.
It don't matter who she vote for or who she works for, who she vote for, or whatever. You have a legitimate person. All you did was just expose that she's a real person. Okay, if you work for Turning Point or Blexit, or if at one point you did, then that means you're a conservative person. So why wouldn't a conservative go meet Trump if they had the opportunity to meet Trump? Okay, all you're doing is giving a legitimacy. If you were to say that she's really a liberal person and works for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and did not vote for Trump, then that'd make sense. But all you're doing is giving her legitimacy. Am I the only one who sees this? But let's continue here. Let's get to more. So there's a picture right there that I showed you. And then we got hit pieces. How a black conservative activist arranged Donald Trump stop at Atlanta Chick-fil-A. Okay, it's a meet and greet. Of course it's going to be organized. People show up to a place when they know someone's going to be there. You get a call. Okay, Trump coming on Monday. Y'all want to come through? All right, cool. Let's organize something. Let's get together. Let's call everybody. Let's call my people and let's show up. That's how it works. Now, let's get to the interview here.
Look at the joy. Here to tell us about it is that young woman herself, Michaela Montgomery. She's also the founder of a grassroots political group to conserve the culture. Michaela, I've been waiting for this interview all morning.
I've been waiting for this my whole life.
So thanks so much for joining us. So you told the president when you were hugging him, I don't care what the media says, we support you. Tell me what you meant by that.
I am so glad that is the first question you asked me. Mm-hmm. So, of course, in the excitement of everything, I wasn't able to really relay my message, but the general consensus or social media would have you thinking that if President Trump were to show up to the HBCU campuses or walk around the AUC community, that like some angry mob would form or a riot would ensue and that he would not be welcome. And clearly the sentiment in that room the other day was the complete opposite. He was very welcome. People were excited to see him. People showed up in support of him, and people, of course, were from all four institutions within the AUC, the local HBCU community in Atlanta, and they all showed up in support of him. So it's actually kind of crazy to see people in an uproar when all four institutions were legitimately represented, and all four institutions were represented by said students who wanted to support President Trump.
You know, Michaela,
and I appreciate that we were able to not only let him know that regardless of what social media says, you know, I know they're trying to make us think we're supposed to hate you, but we don't. And additionally, it was a learning experience for my students because they were able to see and experience firsthand how the media can warp the perception of an opinion or a person. Because like I said, to think that these students who attend these illustrious institutions aren't smart enough to make their own decisions, much so that they would only show support for Trump because he bought chicken sandwiches and milkshakes.
It's offensive.
That in itself is the most disturbing part of it all, especially when you think about the fact that it was mainly urban media outlets that were doing everything in their power to turn other black people against these young black kids.
And you know what's funny about that? I'm going to pause right here about the urban media outlets. A lot of these urban media outlets are controlled by the so-called white man. Like Isaac Hayes, I think he might have been on NBC at one point. A lot of these people, NBC, the Grio, all these places, that's owned by, the white man. So they could say, oh, well, she worked for Blexit and then that's Charlie Kirk, but they don't talk about themselves. It's a lot of projection going on. At the end of it all, you're talking about an event where people showed up because they wanted to be there, not because it was so-called stage. Again, you don't call it Beyonce, Taylor Swift, anything like that stage. So why would you call a Trump meet and greet stage? It doesn't make any sense. The only reason why you call it stage is because she's black, and you can't be a black conservative and support Trump unless it's some nefarious thing behind it. But I digress.
Who simply were not shy to explore other options.
It's so incredible, and I think you hit it on the head. By the way, the former president, gave a lot of funding to HBCUs. One of the highlights of my childhood was my HBCU tour to figure out what college I wanted to go to. But tell me about the former president and his policies. What is it about him that is gravitating these young people toward the president? And a lot of people, traditionally, Republicans don't do well in Black America. But a lot of young Black Americans like the former president. What is it about him?
Great question.
I think, and this is a sentiment I get a lot coming from the young people themselves, is that they feel like he's honest. They feel like this is somebody who, while we might not agree with how he says things, how he goes about things, at least he's telling us what it is. We don't feel like this is a snake in the grass waiting for his chance to bite us. This is somebody who's telling us, this is what my plan is. Here's how I plan to execute it. Here's the people involved. And here's how you can get involved. So they just feel like he's more relatable. And I don't say that to say that, they all relate to him. But again, he gives you that relatable feeling to where it's like, hey, I'm just like you. You know me. This is what you said you wanted. Here's what I'm going to try to do about it. They really feel like this is somebody who's talking to them and not just saying what they want to hear.
Very well said. There's more to the interview, but for time's sake, I'll link to the rest of it in the description. Shout out to Lawrence Jones. Shout out to Fox News. And shout out to Michaela Montgomery for keeping it all the way real. Now, as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to all the Black conservatives out there. I mean, yes, we do exist. I know the media and a lot of haters don't think we exist. They think that we're getting paid and we're just doing stuff because this is how we really are. We really do exist, and we're going to keep growing. All the shaming and accusations is not going to stop our growth. If anything, it's going to push us further into the conservative movement. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on all the hoopla, all the negativity toward Donald Trump's stop in the Atlanta Chick-fil-A? Do you think a meet and greet is staged? If his meet and greet is staged with the Black Trump supporters, then all meet and greets are staged with everybody. So there's nothing that's real. What does the word stage mean? Are we just trying to change language to fit whatever kind of narrative we want to fit? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is obviously not a stage thing. It was a meet and greet. Okay, it was organized, yeah, sure, because Trump coming. All right, Trump coming, cool. Let's talk to the campaign. This is a campaign, it's not like anything else. Like another Trump rally, a Trump meet and greet is all the same thing. But because it's Black supporters, then it's got to be some kind of nefarious thing. It's fake employees, it's fake people, and all kind of ridiculous nonsense. At a certain point, you're going to keep pushing, and you're not going to be able to maintain your control of the Black community in the Democratic Party. And personally, I can't wait to keep on going. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.